Oh, right. I think we are streaming. All right, good deal. Okay, so welcome. Everyone who didn't get a chance to join us live. Thanks. You can just put in the hashtag replay and watch the replay for the Q&A. We have a link from the informational Zoom we did a couple of weeks ago that was more in detail about, the geographical locations as well as the itinerary, along with the currency, the airport, and et cetera, right? To include food and culture. This informational Zoom is the last one for the masses. Those who have already booked, you stay tuned for more Zooms. We're going to be doing at least 3 more Zooms for sure, 2 in September and 1 before we leave out, to make sure you got your I's dotted, your T's crossed, and all your questions answered, and you're ready to rock and roll and go, right? But for anyone who's still on the fence or looking to go or still have some questions about the itinerary, frequently asked questions that's been coming through for different people. One came up about the passport. Like, if you have a passport name change and you already booked with us already, make sure, if your name is not the same as your passport, that you let me know. Send me an email so that I can make sure that your check-in will have no interruptions by not having the right name when you check in. That is very important, just like it is for your airline ticket. How you have to check and make sure your airline ticket matches your passport. Please do that, because if you don't, some airlines will not let you on the plane, right? And then you have to pay for a name change, which can cost you roughly about $100. Same thing applies when you're checking into the resort. Make sure your name is the same when you book, right? If it's not, if you got, your whole middle name spelled out, let me know. Otherwise, you put an initial and your passport has the whole thing. Some people, it just depends on who you get. They're really, really picky. So just make sure it matched. So that was one. And then another one, Miss Shelley's on here right now. She has some great questions that she asked, and I'm going to bring them up as well, which I thought was very, very, very interesting. So the first question was, if you have a roommate, right, on your package, can your roommate get one package and can you get a different package? Well, that depends on the room selection that you have. So let me get ready and bring up and share so I can give all the visual people who don't have the itinerary possibly in front of them what it looks like. Remember, you can go to www.blackqueensmatter.com to register and receive your itinerary. Give me 1 second. And I want to let everyone keep in mind that September the 1st is the final date to book your trip and to make your final payment. All right, here we go. Okay. So when you register and you're looking at it, it has your itinerary from every day that what we're going to be doing scheduled on your itinerary, right? But when it comes to the packages and booking, your packages are a little bit different. We got bronze, we got silver, we got gold, we got platinum, right? And this is what I say, make sure. So if you have a roommate, like the bronze, and it pretty much details it in the description. So you have 5 night accommodations with a garden view, right? Plus your swag bag, insurance, and transfers, but no excursions is included with the bronze package, right? So that means you don't have to do excursions if you don't want to do excursions. But if you choose to add excursions later, we can do so for you, right? All right. So here, if your roommate wants to do the bronze package garden view, and you say, well, I want to do the silver package. Well, this is where you have a conflict because the silver package offers you an all-inclusive ocean view. The room type is different. So the answer is if your roommate chooses a package and you choose a different package, no, it will not work. You have to change, you have to select the same package because of the room type, right? So all-inclusive garden view is a different price point than the all-inclusive ocean view. And if you go on and so forth, on the gold standard, that's an ocean view. Now, this is where it can come to play in. So if you have a roommate and you guys want to do an ocean view room, that's fine. Then you guys have to figure out, okay, do you want one excursion included into your package or do you want two excursions? Because it really depends on what you select. And inside of the excursions, it'll tell you right here, two excursions, adventure and beach. It will also tell you here, excursion beach, right? So you can have the choice selection of which one you want to get. If the roommate does one excursion right here to do the silver standard package, it's still an ocean view, right? Except for it's just one package, then they'll just be paying, one excursion, they'll just be paying for one excursion. If the second roommate decides to do the gold standard package because they want two, it's okay because the room type is still the same. It's still ocean view. The only thing that's different is the excursion. So the roommate will be paying the price for the two excursions, the price for the one excursion, but this is only if they are selecting the ocean view, which has the same room type. Hope that makes sense for everyone. Now, when that does happen, you will receive a different invoice. For example, if you're using, or if you want to do the bronze package, right? And you come and then you decide, I do want to go to the beach with everybody, or I do want to do the adventure day, or you want to just add an excursion to it that we're already doing, then I will invoice you the price point, the excursions prices range. So Recon is for the adventure day can go up to $120 per person. The beach day can be up to $50 to $80 per person. It just varies. So depending on the time that you book it will be dependent on what it is at that price point. Because I've already worked it out with different vendors based off people who have already signed up and booked already. But those who have not, your price point probably will change based off the excursion. So I want to be clear. That's why I'm giving you a price range. So the sooner you book, the better it is for you. You guys know how it is. The later you book, the prices go up, correct? So it's no different. So as each one of you guys are on the fence, possibly about coming on board, just be prepared that if at the time of your deposit your price point is changing, it's because the prices have changed because you're booking close. Those who have already secured your booking, you're good to go. And your peaches and cream, right? So all you have to do is let me know what excursions you want to, meaning, hold on, let me back up. Those who have booked the bronze, right? The bronze package already, but you have not selected any excursions, then again, you're subject to whatever the excursion price is at that time. Those who have already selected price points that had excursions included inside of it, those excursion prices are locked in. Does that make sense? Those prices are locked in to that package already. Those who do not have an excursion, your price for the excursion is not locked in. So whatever the day that you decide to send me an email to say you want to do an excursion and I go in to select that particular excursion, that will be what that price point is. And right now, that's the price point range that I just told you as of this morning. So that is the questions that I've been getting a lot of the separate package. So I want to tell Miss Shelley, thank you so much for that. And Miss Tarsha for asking their questions and for allowing me to use those questions. Does that make sense to you now, Miss Shelley? Is that good?
Yes, ma'am. I just needed to be clear so that I can explain it to my travel buddy.
All right. So good thing I'm also streaming this too as well. So you can always give her the link as well too.
Yeah, thank you.
And then another question that I know is going to come up is if I decide not to book right now and then I get on the property and I decide that I want an excursion, can I still book an excursion? You can if there's still availability for the excursion. If there's not, you can't. But again, whatever the price point will be that at that day that you decide to book it on site is what you will pay. Okay. And again, that would be me checking what the price point is the day that you decide or what the vendors say they're going to charge at that time, if it's available, if there's spots that are open. All right. So I know that's going to come up because people are going to be like, oh, I couldn't make a decision. That's fine that you can make a decision to do an excursion beforehand. Absolutely. This is one of those kind of laid backs. That's why we put the uh, package out there that you didn't have to get excursions on because, hey, if you want to have that free flow, relaxing time on the resort and enjoy everything on the resort and not leave the property, I absolutely understand. But then you got some people who are adventure people who would like to go out. And so the price points are different. And understand this pricing is based off the amount of people that are going. So the people who have already, like I said, locked in with their excursion packages, that's one of the perks for choosing that package because their price will not differentiate. But those who do not, your price point will differentiate and you will only have a range until you actually decide to make a booking for that excursion. Is there any other questions? Let me look at the chat and make sure. Hey, MJ.
I do have a couple, Mr. Name.
Go ahead.
Sorry. They're just kind of popping as we're talking here. As far as currency exchange, can we do that? I know we can do it at the airport, but is it available at the resort as well?
At the resort, no, they have ATMs that's there, so you can use ATMs, but they also have it at the airport. So, are you talking about coming in or leaving out?
Coming in.
Okay, coming in, you have one currency exchange right there at the airport, and you also have it at the ATM machines. I always recommend the ATM machines because it's cheaper than
Mm-hmm.
going to the actual currency exchange in the airport. The rate is cheaper. If you have a bank who waives fees and stuff, that even makes it even better. But if you don't take that into account, but it still has proven to be cheaper. When I go, I always use ATM machines everywhere I go anyway since I'm here.
Okay,
But
gotcha.
it's just cheaper for me. But also my bank gives me back the international fees that are associated with it. So make sure that's a great question because a lot of people don't know. Check with your bank to see if they do refunds on your international if you're using foreign ATM machines. And then
Okay.
also find out if they're charging an additional foreign fee. I will tell people when I use my credit card, sometimes depending on the vendor who I'm using wherever in Costa Rica, I will get a not my credit card, I'm sorry, but my debit cards, particularly my Chase debit card. I will see when I'm swiping it that they will charge me a foreign transaction fee. And that's just I've never had it with my other banks, but Chase, I've seen that on. So if you're a Chase person, you might want to ask about that and see how that works. I don't use my Chase too regularly because of that additional. It's a small amount, but still, just FYI for you guys to know your banks and what they charge. That was a great question, MJ. What else you got?
Thank you. Okay, this is probably a two-part, but what is the last pickup for the shuttle from the airport to the
Um,
resort?
so the check-in time is at 3 o'clock. So that is the final time that everybody needs to be at the airport by 3 o'clock. Whatever your flight is, need to
Mm-hmm.
be at the airport by 3 because that's what time the pickup is going to be. So that
So
is
it's only one pickup for the day? It's only one pickup?
it's only one pickup. Anything
Gotcha.
after that, you if you fly in afterwards, then you would be responsible for doing your own transfer, paying the cost for it. You just let me know if you need assistance with the transfer, but you'll
Mm-hmm.
have to pay additional costs because the transfer is included already, but it's included for group pickup. So that's why the cost is
Gotcha.
absolutely cheap. But if you do individuals, it's a little bit different in pricing.
Okay, that's what I was wondering because it's a little difficult flying out of Yuma because I have to go through Phoenix. I think the best flight I have right now is getting in at 11:30 that morning.
Okay.
So that's why I wanted to make sure if there was a shuttle availability or if I had to get there on my own.
Yep. You'll be an early bird.
Yeah.
You will be an early bird. So yeah, you can even when you get to the resort, and I'm glad you mentioned that. So, like, if anyone else is in a position where you're going to get there early and you want to go to the resort, like I said, absolutely you can. The transfer will be an individually priced for you to get to the resort. The resort is not going to allow you to check in. However, you can drop your bags and do what I always recommend for everyone to do when you get in there early, go to the spa, change out your clothes, and head to the pool or to the beach and relax because they will allow you to do that as well. Also, even though they're not going to be able to check your say your room is not ready at that point because it's not going to be ready, but it's around lunchtime and you're hungry and stuff like that, they will be able to give you like a little, I think it's like a bracelet or something to be able to go and be able to eat too while you're waiting for your room to be to check in. So you won't be starving.
Okay, and I have one last one. I'm sorry.
All right, this is good.
Um, it might have been said, I may have missed it, but are we able to book through you?
For what
Travel,
exactly?
for
Yes,
travel.
absolutely.
Okay, perfect.
Absolutely. And since you already booked, you might have missed it. I did say we're going to be having some more Zooms specifically for those who've already booked their accommodations for this trip. So look for more personal Zoom information coming into your emails. So whatever email that you got that I have on file for you, look for the
Mhm.
emails for upcoming Zoom. We're going to have two in September, first week of September. The other one is going to be like the middle of September, and then we're going to have another one the first week of October before we even leave out, so that everybody is good to go.
Okay, I appreciate that. But actually, I should have been a little more specific as far as flight bookings. Do you do flight booking?
So I do not do flight bookings, but I can assist you in finding a flight because I do know it can be difficult.
Okay,
It's
gotcha.
not a problem. So if you need my assistance to help you with that, I absolutely can.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Great questions, MJ. Great questions. All right. Anyone else have any questions? All right, let's talk about the clothing real quick because I'm pretty sure you guys are getting ready to pack up, right? So if you are doing like the adventure day and you're going to Recon, which is the volcano, which has the hot springs, it also has horseback riding, it also has zip lining, it also has the mud with the hot springs, as well as the water tubing as well. In this case, it is the rainy season. So, what I recommend if you have a poncho, make sure you pack a poncho or a light waterproof jacket, tennis shoes, or if you got some hiking boots. Only because it can be very slippery sometimes when it's even misty. It's going through the rainforest, but it's really beautiful, and you have a canopy. So a lot of people are like, "Am I going to get drenched?" Well, you're walking through the rainforest and it has a canopy, so you will get a little bit of rain if it's raining, but mostly in Liberia where Raccoon is, it does rain more so up there than it does in my neck of the woods. But like I said, it's one of those seasons. If you're used to Florida weather, or if you ever been to where you had a rain shower last about 30 minutes or so, pretty heavy rain or something like that, and it stops, that's pretty much how it is. Or to have a overcast, which I tell you, when you're doing recon, you would want to overcast because is the sun's not shining and blasting on you. The only thing that I always pray for is that it's not a humid day, because the humidity can get very high on those days where there's a lot of cloud cover. It feels like a little oven, so it's a little more humid and you sweat a lot more. All right. So I always tell people be prepared for that if that happen. But other than that, make sure you have like a light poncho or a light waterproof jacket. If you have like a small little backpack on adventure day, that would also be ideal for you to have a waterproof, of course, if you want to put your like some drinks like Gatorade or something like that, or anything you want to take from the resort waters in your backpack to take with you. Normally, they do provide waters for you on the trip, but that's it. That's about the minimum that they will do. But if you want something extra, they can stop at the store, the local convenience store, and you can pick up something there. The convenience stores is not like our 7-Elevens and different things like that. You go in, it's local. So everything is pretty much in Espanol, but you'll have that little section that's like for, you got your Fritos, Doritos, or anything like that that you like, or you have your section where they may have Gatorade or Powerade or just a lot of juices. Juices are the big thing in water, right? So light rain jacket or light poncho, hiking shoes or tennis shoes, as well as lots of bathing suits. If you're going to be by the pool or the beach, the wear is mostly flip-flops, bathing suits, or over throw cover-ups for a bathing suit, especially on the property. They do like entertainment and the dinners, of course. So you can, if you want to dress up or casually dress up, and people ask me, well, can I wear heels? Well, this property have heels, but they also have golf carts. So you can wear heels because it's concrete on the places like within the resort and stuff like that. So if you want to take that little cute picture, you can bring your heels with your flip-flops in your bag or whatever and take the cart. So yes, you can. Light breathable type of fabrics is really good, especially based off the fact that it's rainy season. So cotton type, air breathable type deal, especially if you sweat a lot, that comes into play. If you do sweat a lot, bring you some extra, headbands or wraps or wherever that you use to help with that. Because again, it depends on what day. If it's one of those humid days because of the rainy season, you might sweat or perspire a lot. Insect repellent. Um, Better to bring it with you because it is very expensive when you forget it. I'm talking about $10 type expensive for a small bottle of off, so you don't want to do that. If you got Skintastic, whatever you use, bring it with you. It does help, especially during the rainy season where mosquitoes tend to like to bite in the rainforest, especially if you're going on adventure day to Recon. Definitely recommend that. But that's pretty much it. I tell people it's foldable clothes, things of that nature are wrinkle-free type clothes. You will have irons in your rooms because people be like, well, do they have steamers or do they have irons? They have irons with an ironing board so that you can iron your clothes if you want to. As well. Let's see. Other than that, that's pretty much the basics of what you want to bring with you or make sure you have in your suitcase. The other thing I would recommend, if you are liking water, like I love water, then you want to take those cover cases for your cell phone that you can put in there. For those who are attending, you guys are going to get a packing list that got to shows pictures of what I'm talking about. But for those who are on the fence and you kind of like, what do I do? Or I don't even know what to know about Costa Rica, this is for you. It keeps your phone from getting wet when you're at the pool or at the beach, or if you're going down tubing for adventure day, it's really perfect. So I'm also going to talk about the tubing a little bit because I got some questions about, well, how fast is the rapids and stuff like that. It is like a lazy river type of deal. It's based on the amount of people that are in the river at that time. And normally people think in the rainy season that it's not a lot of people. Oh my goodness. I wish I could tell y'all that was true, but it's not. The rainy season is very popular for a lot of different reasons. It's also the time where the turtles, especially in October, come on and they're laying their eggs and they're hatching and all this other stuff. So people come to watch that. But it's also least expensive to go during this season. So a lot of people take advantage of the cost during this season because they don't mind the rain. So it is crowded in the river, but it's fun and it's relaxing. So you won't be like all over the place like water rapids. It's a small, low grade one that you'll be doing. I absolutely love it. Then people ask about the zip lining. If you're scared of heights, this is not for you. It's not what you want to do. They go to different levels on the zip lining. Those who like this kind of thing, they love it. They love the zip lining. But if it's your first time or you're not too sure, then I would definitely encourage you to say, once you go, you're stuck. There's no other way to come down. Even though you may think so, I've had a few clients who have gone up there and gotten stuck. Now they've been stuck for like 40 minutes, but the only way they can come down is the same, going up, and because it's connecting, if that makes sense, from one to the next one to one to the next one. So again, if you're a little fearful of heights, like I am, it's not your thing. I've only done it one time, and it only took me one time, so I can speak intelligently to people who have that kind of same fear factor. It ain't your jam. Start out with the baby ones. This is not a baby one, okay? But other than that, you don't have to do it. You can kind of just chill around, wait for everybody else to finish. That's what I do. And then just enjoy the rest of everything else that's on the agenda for that day. Okay. So that's pretty much it. Again, for those who have already booked, I'm gonna see you guys about in a couple more at the first week of September, and same give you the Zoom information for it so that you guys can ask any more detailed questions as we getting closer to that. But before I go, I want to make sure I check the chat. Waterproof cameras are also great. Yes, Shelly, waterproof cameras are also great. And the other one that's really great, I don't know if you guys, for those who are going zip lining, if you have those little small digi cameras or anything like that, or things that you can hang from yourself, they really want you to have something that can be attached. But if you do have something that hangs on you, don't make sure it's not loosely hung on there, so they don't want to get caught on anything. So I just thought I'd share that with people who really like to take photos while they're doing their adventures on the zip lining. So make sure nothing's like loose that can get caught on your camera. They really like those things that are attached for camera purposes. Okay. All right. Alrighty. That was good for me. Is anybody else have any questions? Are all hearts and minds clear?
All clear. Thank you.
You are so welcome. All right, ladies, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. Again, we have streamed this. I will be posting it in the group. So anybody that you know who wants to get more clarity and information about the packages and excursions, by all means, they can look at the replay on the streaming. And if they need to ask more questions, you can direct message me as well, or you can contact me on my telephone number is 254-760-4334. Texting is always good for me. I'm really quick to text. Messenger is good. I check it at least in the morning time, in the afternoon, and the evening. If I miss it for the day, I will get it the next day. All right. Thank you so much. Everybody have a blessed remaining of your Sunday. Bye-bye.